My son has been biting his hand when a demand is placed on him when he is overexcited. I'm really worried it's getting worse.
Well, this is where we talk about ABC data, and like
Yes.
what happened before, what's the behavior, and then what did you do? And Shannon can do her. I love
I'm,
your explanation
I'm,
better than
I'm
anything.
origamiing.
The question is, if he bites and you pay a lot of attention to him, or you do something to get him to not bite, that might be reinforcing him so that he knows if he bites his hand, you will come over or he'll get away from a task. There's different functions of behaviors. And so you really have to look at the behavior to figure out, like, why is he really biting? And Shannon, go on, show your.
Okay, so I just folded my paper with my question on it in thirds, right? So that I can, I've got columns and I didn't need a straight edge. And across the top, I wrote A, B, C. And the A stands for the antecedent. That's what happened before. The B stands for behavior and the C stands for consequence. And you can do this on your phone or you can carry this in your pocket. And when a behavior happens, so let's say he bites his hand. While the behavior is happening, you're standing there looking at it, but you're thinking in your head, I have to be a court reporter later on and jot it all down. My favorite thing about this is, as a parent, it helped me to deal with the anxiety in the moment, because you know how we all escalate. You see your child biting your hand and you go, what is this horrible behavior? Where did this happen? Is this my fault? Is this going to be, he's going to go to college and he's going to be biting his hand. What if he bites through his hand and we have to go to the, like, we will cycle, right? Instead, you think, okay, what exactly is going here? Okay, he's chewing on his finger, then he moves to his fist, and now, he's doing this, whatever you're thinking about what the behavior is so you can write it later. Later, when you have a second, you write what the behavior is, then you write what the consequence was. What happened? Did you say to him, stop biting your hand? Did you take away, something? Did you move things around? Did you let him bite his hand? No judgments. You write what happened as a result of it. Then you go back and you have to be the forensic scientist and think, okay, what happened before? You're already knowing, because you wrote in and said it happens when we put a demand on him. But be specific. What time was it? What was happening before? What demand did you put on? And then each incidence, you draw a line and you do the next one. And then you hand this to your BCBA, who then can make so much information out of that. And you will start to see some patterns. You will notice, oh, he's biting his hand more for a demand in the afternoon than he is in the morning. Because I'm not seeing any of them in the morning. Why is that? Did he eat something during lunch that made it harder for him to process? And so the anxiety of that. I mean, the crazy things that come up when you do this, the patterns that you see, it's very educational for us. And it's life-changing when you can hand that to the BCBA, because it gives them eyes on the situation. What would you add? That's my parent to parent, but you're the expert. What would you add?
Well, really, it's like what you said. You wrote it all down and you're trying to figure out what it is. Just remember, it might not be one thing. It might be tangent. That's the hardest part, is like, I may bite my hand because I know you're going to ask me a question at any moment. I may bite my hand because if I bite my hand, you're going to come talk to me and kiss me and hug me and pull my hand. If I bite my hand, maybe now you stop making me do this. Stop eating this food that I don't like, or stop watching the show that you're making me watch, stop playing with this toy, stop interacting with someone. So there's different reasons that the different functions that get involved. And then that's usually when I start telling families that when a behavior won't go away, the first thing I do is do something like this ABC, but it's usually what we call a multiple controlled function, which means there's different reasons and different functions for why a behavior is there. We're trying to pull it all into one, but that doesn't always work. Whenever I look at behaviors that have been there and it just goes up and down, there's a good chance that there's more than one reason why that child is doing this. And so then you really do need to look at each situation and try to figure out why in this situation is he doing this activity.
Okay. And then once you know why they're doing it, there's all different types of interventions. But it's sort of like when something isn't working in your car and you go to the mechanic and you say, I think it's the water pump, right? Because you've formed an opinion. I think it's the water pump, but the person who's fixing your car says, well, I'm going to drive it around the block for a second and see what I hear. And then they look at it and they see before they start taking the water pump out, right? So, and because they want to know what it is, because they want to fix it for you. Same thing with your BCBA. They want to figure out what the function of the behavior is. They need to look at it. That ABC data helps them to be able to look at it, helps things to go faster. But you don't want to just jump in and pull things out and go, well, I think it's this, until you know for sure. All right. I love how you're talking to each other. It's really wonderful.
Hey, thanks for watching Autism Live. To subscribe, click here. And if you'd like to check out some more of our videos, click here.